Hello, Contrarians, listeners, watchers, subscribers. Here we are on the aftermath of our summer event. We have left the 90s and gone all the way to the 40s, time of world wars and classic movie stars, Bogey, Bergman, the whole gang, including Michael Curtiz.
They're all there.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Casablanca. You know what we do in this show, and if you don't, let me tell you, don't take us seriously when we say mean things about Casablanca on the first half of the main feed. That's just, it's super fresh, so we have to say negative things about it. It's contractually what we have to do on the Contrarians. Yes. And then we tell you how we really feel, which, unsurprisingly, we like it. But in this video, these post-credits sequences, we're going to tell you a little bit more about the Rotten Tomatoes quotes. We're going to talk about the trailer. I'm going to give you some trivia. I'm going to do the Josh Gad Minute. Josh Gad in Casablanca. Man, I can't wait. So, we're going to start with the consensus, as we usually do. Alex, 99% fresh, certified fresh on the Tomatometer. The consensus says, an undisputed masterpiece and perhaps Hollywood's quintessential statement on love and romance. Casablanca has only improved with age, boasting career-defining performances from Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. I guess, ultimately, when you boil it down, it is about the love story, like the romance. I just never think about it when I'm thinking of Casablanca. Do you?
The romance?
Yeah. Do you think of it mostly as a love story?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm the weird one. I just think about Rick's, reawakening to being a better person, a person that cares. That's like the main thing when I think of Casablanca.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but it's like, I'm always going to think of, he is looking at you, kid. And, just all the fucking romantic lines and like the longing and the, love that's in the air. But yeah, I mean, it's also, there's a war going on. That's one of my my notes is like, oh yeah, World War II.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, let us know when you think Casablanca. What do you think? Do you think old movie? Do you think love? Do you think World War II? But let's start with the quotes. I got a couple quotes from the Rotten Tomatoes website. Fresh, of course. We're going to start with Brian Eggert from Deep Focus Review, who says, it continues to fascinate audiences in a way that is beyond explanation, except to resolve that the picture seems to result from and fully encompass that somewhat fantastical notion of movie magic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I watched Casablanca, and I don't wonder, I wonder why people love it. I'm more like, I wonder why anyone wouldn't love it. But yeah, that's just me. I'm old now. We do have an extensive conversation, a lament on the fact that some of the younger generations may not appreciate Casablanca as much as us oldies do. And when you listen to the episode, maybe you can chime in about that. I don't want to, I want to go over it because I want to keep this conversation light and happy. But movie magic, Alex. This is, the performances.
I think I spent 45 minutes talking about the lighting in this movie.
Yes. I want to bring up this because my wife brought it up. Corey brought it up when he was like sharing his excitement about the fact that we're doing a Casablanca episode. And you probably run into it when you were doing your trivia research. The fact that the final sequence at the airport, at the, whatever, it's just shot in a lot. It's like it's a closed set. And the planes are miniatures and the lights are little people with lights, like pretending to. So the entire thing is it's artificial. But watching the movie, you wouldn't know it.
Oh yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of practical filmmaking that Alex just will not shut up about sometimes. Could you do it with a green screen today? You could.
It was a hell of a back-to-back because one of the things I was most complimentary about Big Daddy was they actually shot in New York City as opposed to just, fucking, where did that first season of Last of Us? It was somewhere in Canada they filmed and they said Austin, Texas. It was like, get fucked. Like, I was like, anyone who's ever been to Austin knows that we don't have fucking cul-de-sacs like that. Like, fuck off. But Anyway, yeah, I mean, this movie magic is we just speak in cliches about this movie, but it's true.
What do you? What's the line from Michael Keaton in Birdman? What do we talk about when we talk about love? What do we talk about when we talk about Casablanca? Movie magic, movie cliches. Well, it's a good one. It is one of those cases where the Tomatometer score actually reflects not just the reputation but the quality of the movie. And there's a reason. I think that if you want to catch Casablanca on the big screen, you don't have to look too hard, because I think that they have special screenings, I want to say at least once a year in several venues. So treat yourself to that and experience it, the way that people experienced it 80 years ago. Next quote is from Mark Jackson from the Epoch Times, who says, brace yourself, Alex, we joke about this a little bit on the episode, "It's probably high time for a Casablanca remake. It debuted in 1943 to awaken apathetic America to the Nazi threat. Now the Chinese Communist Party is hell-bent on world domination. Somebody hurry up and discover the new Bogart, ... I
Had a little bit of an agenda in there.
Yes, and I don't know when Mark Jackson wrote this. I mean, I think that American history has proven that if that was the case, we would need a Casablanca remake every 10 years or so, just because the threat of fascism.
It's yeah, exactly. It's had to, like, studios, Warner Brothers, constantly. It has to come up, but it's as much as I think there are no sacred cows. This, like, people are like, no, like,
somebody. There's always a sensible person in the room.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's like,
speaking of my wife, she didn't share her sources, but she said that at one point she had read that there was a remake that was spearheaded by Madonna, like the project. Madonna wanted a Casablanca remake.
I believe that. Yeah,
and I don't know if it was her or that some of the investors were lobbying for Ashton Kutcher to be Rick. And all I could do was laugh.
Here's looking at you, kid.
He will always be Kelso. You can't. I mean,
yeah.
He's still getting those paychecks, so I mean, I don't think that he can be too angry about that.
He's done some things I've enjoyed, like I was not a Butterfly Effect person. Like, I remember when that movie came out, I was in high school and people were shitting their pants about it. That movie he did with Cameron Diaz is really funny. It's really stupid, but it's really funny.
Oh yeah, that's your Rob Corddry go-to whenever you want to praise Corddry, right? Like What Happens in Vegas?
Yes, What Happens in Vegas. Thank you. And there's something else I'm blanking on that I enjoyed him in. But, I mean, come the fuck on. He's Kelso.
I mean, the only way that he could even come possibly close to working is if you don't make it a period piece. You set it in modern times. And so Rick's is just this club. And so Kutcher
like
is
some seedy club, like that he moved to some other country so he can, like, skim money off the top and take bribes and shit like that.
Yes, because I can probably buy Ashton Kutcher.
Reindeer Games, that was it.
For what?
Kutcher. It's a movie that I like that he's in.
It's 5 minutes. Reindeer Games.
Go listen to our episode where Julio and I are just like in near hysterics at the idea of, like, Kutcher being this, like, massive cameo get for that movie.
Well, I can buy Kutcher as a guy that doesn't care that there's a world war going on.
Yeah.
I don't buy him as the guy that was, like, running guns in the Spanish Civil War or, like, any of it. Like, his Rick would have to not have any badass background, and his arc would have to be him realizing that, oh, maybe I should I don't know, change my Facebook profile picture to show support.
I'll put the lens over it. That's the American flag.
Yes, Madonna, Ingrid Bergman. I don't think so. But then again, if you have Ashton Kutcher as Rick, then anything goes. We're clearly not taking this seriously, and I mean, if you have those two as two of the sides of the triangle, anybody can play Lazlo. It's not gonna matter. Get Michael Fassbender to play Lazlo. Got yourself a movie there. Why not? Anyway, those were the quotes. Let's move on to some trailer chatter. Casablanca gives us a treat because you have the classic trailer on YouTube, but you can also do a little search and you get the 4K re-release trailer. And
Yeah.
they are very, very different trailers because one was made back when Casablanca came out and the other one was just a few years ago. So let's start with the original trailer, Alex, the classic, which plays like a classic trailer. And just before we
Oh
started
yeah.
recording, you told me I prefer the classic.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that?
Oh, that's nostalgia for a time period I wasn't alive. Like what's that? The Apartment. Remember when like that had a trailer very similar to this, and like,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it's it exists on the text more than almost anything.
Yeah.
Every kiss may be the last, you know. And so
Yes. Rick is dubbed the most dangerous man in the most dangerous city.
that's right. Yeah, they do a good job of making him seem like a badass.
I mean, this movie comes out, people already knew Bogart. They were watching it. They were interested in Casablanca because of Bogart, because of Bergman. Um, and then the trailer kind of sells you a movie that's, I think, a little more action packed than
Mhm.
what the action movies have been. Right? You get the Ugarte getting shot, and then you get the cops getting in a car at some point, and then they blow up. They give you away the Rick shooting the Nazi. You know who he's shooting, but the climatic shootout.
Mhm.
And they even show you Ilsa pulling a gun on Rick. So they're like,
Yeah,
trust us. There are guns in this movie. Please.
there's action. Your husband will enjoy it.
Yes. um,
And then the 4K trailer is just like a collection of the moments from the movie that everyone knows.
yes.
Which makes sense. That's obviously how you would market that for like a re-release or something. But there's no. It's like every time they do like a trailer for like some sort of new Wizard of Oz thing, it's like, yeah, Yellow Brick Road. Like there's nothing in that that's trying to hook you. It's just telling you, remember this? And that's kind of what the 4K trailer is.
It's the high school reunion version of the trailer. It
Yes.
was like everybody you loved.
Time of Your Life by Green Day's playing in the background during it.
You hit like most of the lines. Here's looking at you, kid. The problems with three little people. Sam, play it. It just everybody gets to chime in. It looks great though. I think that the difference, the stark contrast between the classic trailer and the way that the 4K looks in that trailer, those trailers, it definitely makes you want to buy the Blu-ray and just experience Casablanca in 4K.
I had to, of course, immediately check myself. The song's called "Good Riddance," but
parentheses.
Correct, yeah. Time of Your Life. All of us who lived through the Seinfeld finale know that to be true.
Do they play that? No, they don't. Do they?
The Seinfeld finale? That was like the whole fucking theme song for it. Not the actual episode, but the one they played beforehand. That was like the making, like the coming to a close, and then they had like the big montage that led into the finale that was set to "Good Riddance."
Okay, I never said that. I never saw that promo. I just remember. I thought you were telling me that the final shot when they back. I was like, wow, I don't remember that at all.
In the jail cell, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's, as you, I mean, just called out, that was the song that you would use for that type of the reunion or whatever. I had it, I think, when we did we graduated and we all got a VHS tape with like video, maybe, and that was like Time of Your Life was like the little montage where we're all like waving and being stupid.
I made
kids.
I did the senior video, the graduation ceremony video, my junior year and my senior year of high school. I had edited and put it together what they played at like the graduation ceremony. And I don't remember which year it was, but I used Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis because I thought Good Riddance by Green Day was too played out at that point.
Hey, you were right. In my defense, I did not do the video for my class. So
there was one I also did. I used She Talks to Angels by the Black Crowes just because it sounds real like, pensive and it sounds very like celebratory in like a kind of an emotional way, but it's about kicking a heroin addiction. So I didn't really tell my principal that part, but I was like, yeah, I think this will be a good song for it.
Well, despite how Alex felt back then, and he is right, Time of Your Life, Good Riddance, however you want to call it, is played out in that context. I don't think that there is a Casablanca trailer set to good riddance. So please get on it.
Get to work.
Yes, and then shoot us the link. We'll give you credit.
Link in bio.
Yes, but anyway, watch the two trailers so you can compare, and then if you don't own Casablanca, now's a good time to shell out some bucks so you can get the Blu-ray 4K. Because as we mentioned on the episode, Criterion for some reason doesn't feel the need to have Casablanca in the collection. I don't
It's too on the
understand.
nose.
Yeah, I guess too obvious. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the Josh Gad Minute, Alex. Classic Gad, black and white Gad.
Unfortunately, if you've listened to the actual episode before you landed here, you already know what's coming, because I think this is, to me, this is tailor-made. This is like a hand in a custom glove. It's Claude Rains. I apologize, sir. We're going to have to take away your Best Supporting Actor nomination, because the role of Captain Louis Renault will be now played by Josh Gad. I mean, come on. The mustache, the kind of whimsical sounds too much, but he has like a certain level of like joy and delivery for like all the things he says, like be it, he's clearly corrupt, or he's like, got a gun pointed at him. I mean, Josh Gad would be made for this. I mean,
this might be the most iconic Gad replacement that we've come up with, because I guess no matter who he plays in Casablanca, he would just be part of film history. But
oh yeah,
but Claude Rains, I mean, he's one of the most, I would say, beloved characters in the movie. The one that surprises you, because I think that you expect to love Rick, you expect to love Ilsa, you probably expect to at the very least respect Lazlo. But the corrupt policeman, you're supposed to maybe be a little weary, but he's so charming. And yeah, Josh Gad can be charming, he can be funny, and you would get that fist bump at the end when you realize that he's decided to get on the good side, get in with the allies. So I fully support this.
Yeah, there's that. Or if you just want to kind of get the little like taste of Gad, you can I mean, Pete Lorre has other shit he can do, so we could have Gad as Ugarte.
That would have been my first choice, just because my expectation would have been that you would have been so protective of Claude Rains, as most people would. And Pete Lorre, I mean, yeah, he has a career, and also his role is almost like a cameo. He plays a big part in the story, but it's just like really his one big scene with Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Gad can play smarmy. He can play the guy that has those things, and he's trying to impress Rick, and it gets shot. Actually, we don't see him get shot. We just see him get arrested. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would work too. But you know what? If we're all in agreement, if we're okay with it, then I think that we just digitally remove Claude Rains from Casablanca next time that we do a re-release, and very quietly replace him with Josh Gad, and see if anybody notices.
Not a chance.
Impossible. All right, let's move over to trivia. Alex, what do you have to say about Casablanca?
I mean, I think we find ourselves at this brick wall repeatedly in this episode of what do we say, but it's based on a play. Everybody Comes to Rick's. We kind of break down brief history of that in the episode. It was released in the United States on January 23rd of 1943, having premiered 2 months prior on November 26th of 1942 at the Hollywood Theater. A budget of an estimated $1 million, and just due to the time period and the I guess lack of resources, there was no box office mojo back then. There's a box office is anywhere between $4 and $7 million. Although the initial filming date was selected for April 10th of 1942, delays in production led to a start on May 25th. Filming was completed on August 3rd. The movie went $75,000 over budget for a total cost of over $1 million, which equates to, this is last updated in 2023, so $15 million. Above average for the time. Unusually, the film was shot in sequence, mainly because only the first half of the script was ready when they started filming.
Right.
The entire picture was shot in the studio, except for the sequence showing Strasser's arrival and close-ups of Lockheed Electra, filmed at Van Nuys Airport, and a few short clips of stock footage that was used for shots of Paris. The street used for the exterior shots had recently been built for another film, The Desert Song, and redressed for the Paris flashbacks. Now, this movie was produced famous/infamously as Hal B. Wallace, by Hal B. Wallace. And Ebert, who this was one of his North Stars, this film, said he was the key creative force for his attention to detail of the production, down to insisting on a real parrot being used at the Blue Parrot Bar.
He painted parrot glue.
This I found funny just because I'm so wrestling brained. I can just see like the dissension or tension this would cause. The difference between Bergman and Bogart's height caused problems. She was 2 inches taller than Bogart and claimed Curtiz had Bogart stand on blocks or sit on cushions in their scenes together. I mean, that is Wrestling 101. You stand on a cart to make yourself look tall. Later, there were plans for a further scene showing Rick, Renault, and a detachment of free French soldiers on a ship to incorporate the Allies' 1942 invasion of North Africa.
No.
Yeah. It proved too difficult to get Claude Rains for the shoot. He was like, fuck this, I'm on vacation. And the scene was abandoned after it was ruled that it would be a terrible mistake to change the ending, which I think you and I can both agree resoundingly on.
I love the idea of Bogart dressed in fatigues, just with his rifle waiting, and then if I tell him, no, Rains is not coming, we're just scrapping this whole thing.
Circling back to what you mentioned earlier, the background for the final scene, which shows a Lockheed Model 12 Electra Junior airplane with personnel walking around it, was staged using little person extras and a proportionate cardboard plane. Fog was used to mask the model's unconvincing appearance. We talk about with other movies before the Godzilla, the 97, 98 one, that it had to be raining the whole time because it looked like shit, so they had to cover it up. So
yes, well,
Curtiz's influence still alive and well.
Movie magic still kicking at the end of the 90s.
There you go. I did not know this. I wasn't paying enough attention. The score was written by Max Steiner, who did the scores for King Kong and Gone with the Wind. That rules.
It's As Time Goes By. Is that like an original song made for Casablanca?
The song As Time Goes By Herman Humpfeld had been part of the story from the original play.
Okay.
Steiner wanted to write his own composition to replace it, but Bergman had already cut her hair short for her next role and could not reshoot the scenes that had already incorporated the song.
Would it still qualify for original song if it was created before the movie, for the play?
Were they giving them out in 1943?
That's a good question.
We're going to get to the Academy Awards in just a second here. Good question, Julio. We'll move along now to the Academy Awards, where this thing obviously was celebrated heavily. Because of its 1942 November release, the New York Film Critics decided to include it in its 1942 award season for Best Picture. Casablanca lost to In Which We Serve. However, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences stated that since the film went into national release at the beginning of 1943, it would be included in that year's nominations. Casablanca was nominated for 8 Academy Awards and won 3. As Bogart stepped out of his car at the award ceremony, the crowd surged forward, almost engulfing him and his wife, Mayo Methot. It took 12 police officers to rescue the two, and a red-faced, startled yet smiling Bogart heard a chorus of cries of "good luck," and here's looking at you, kid, as he was rushed into the theater.
It had already begun.
When the award for Best Picture was announced, producer Hal B. Wallace got up to accept, but studio head Jack L. Warner rushed on stage with a broad, flashing smile and a look of great self-satisfaction. Wallace would later recall, "I couldn't believe it was happening. Casablanca had been my creation. Jack had absolutely nothing to do with it. As the audience gasped, I tried to get out of the row of seats and into the aisle, but the entire Warner family sat blocking me. I had no alternative but to sit down, again, humiliated and furious. Almost 40 years later, I still haven't recovered from the shock." This incident led to Wallace leaving Warner Brothers in April of that year.
Man, back then you didn't have the internet to set the record straight.
That's right. We would have had a public apology. In 1989, the film was one of the first 25 films selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry after being deemed culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. Texas Chainsaw Massacre's in there now, just heads up.
Side by side.
All right, so what did it win? What was it nominated for at the Academy Awards? So it looks like there was a best music song category, best music score, and this was back in like this was the 16th Academy Awards, just for those keeping count. And this was back kind of in the fucking Wild West days, where
They're still trying to figure it out.
like, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 15 nominees for the best score category. So, like, you know, the fucking keep it at 5 pictures. You know, that we lost out on that. But Casablanca ended up taking home the big one, best motion picture. It took home best director for Michael Curtiz. Both Humphrey Bogart and Claude Rains were nominated. Neither took home a little gold man that night. It did win for best screenplay and was also nominated for best cinematography, best film editing, and best score of a dramatic or comedy picture. That's where our boy Max Steiner came into the fray. But it won best picture. It beat out For Whom the Bell Tolls, Heaven Can Wait, The Human Comedy, In Which We Serve, Madame Curie, The More the Merrier, The Oxbow Incident, The Song of Bernadette, and Watch on the Rhine. So,
I'm sure those movies are classics in their own, but they, I would say they don't have the legacy that Casablanca does.
No.
So in that sense,
very, very few things do.
Yeah, maybe the Academy got it right.
So, that was on March 2nd of 1944 with Jack Benny as the host. This was before they trotted out Billy Crystal every year.
Coming soon. Yeah. No MTV Movie Award nominations.
No
best
yet.
duo for Bogey and Bergman.
Humphrey was beat out by Clint Howard for the Lifetime Achievement Award in 1998.
I will take this opportunity, Alex, to I've been doing some thinking after we recorded the episode, because there was a point where we were talking about, God, I don't remember how it came up, but you were like, because I said that America, this came out in 1943, and so we're already at war, and somehow I was just saying, how could, you said that much like with the Great Dictator, that maybe people just didn't know how bad Nazis were, like how the atrocities and all that stuff. And I said, well, Pearl Harbor had already happened, so we would know. But then I was thinking about it, I was like, well, not necessarily, right? Because you can, for one, that was Japan, not Germany, right? Mm-hmm. But also, as monstrous an act as the Pearl Harbor bombing was, you could still, that doesn't correlate to you knowing what the concentration camps were in Germany.
Yeah, correct.
So, point Alex Mattis, and I, if I even came close to scoring a point, it's been removed, because I think, and obviously I'm not, unlike my wife, I don't devour history books, so I couldn't tell you the historical context and who knew what at what time. But in this case, I think that it is conceivable that you could live in America, know that we're at war with Japan and with the whole, with that coalition, and yet not even fathom the atrocities that were happening.
That's there. Yeah, we're not here to talk about that, but that's something we talk about a bit in our Great Dictator episode. But that's true. It's Japan was the enemy, and we didn't until, like, we weren't going to fuck with Germany until that fella took it a step too far. But yeah, at the time, there was no way of knowing.
Yeah. So excellent call out. By the way, if you haven't checked it out yet, our Fresh Immigrants, Rotten Fascists episodes, they don't have videos, but they are on the YouTube playlist. They have their own thing. So check it out if you want to hear us talk about relevant stuff to today's situation here in the States and all over the world. So that's it for Casablanca. Casablanca, a movie about not staying out of the fight, if you ask me, a movie about a love story, if you ask everybody else. Both things can be true. So if you haven't watched Casablanca, please do. And then log it on Letterboxd, because, as mentioned on the episode, there's a lot of people, a significant amount of people that have it very lowly ranked, and I think they're being serious, and that I find that unsettling. So the more Casablanca love you can put there, the better. Coming up next, Alex. Not a classic, maybe not a classic yet. We'll see how people are talking about that awkward moment 80 years from now. But as it is today, it's rotten on the Tomatometer. So we're going to be saying really nice things about Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan. And did we agree that the third person is Zac Efron?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds like a blast. Like romantic comedy that has nothing to do with World War II or anything else that might be serious. So check out that awkward moment if you haven't, so you can fully enjoy the episode. If not, don't worry, we'll do a recap for you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching these videos, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Here's looking at you, kid.